Now it has become a habit.
All right, so welcome everybody to Metahumans Mondays. We got a really cool show today. Some heated starting topics actually today. So we're gonna start with some heated starting topics before we get into some really fun news that I personally am really stoked about that just broke maybe like three or 4 hours ago. But before we get into that, I want to introduce our special guest for today, Chris Pacheco. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then we got Boy Blender, Francisco. How you doing, brother?
What's up? Doing pretty good.
Awesome, dude. So we're gonna jump right on into this. As some of you may already know, this is not breaking news, but this is something that's going on right now, and I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts on this is. So basically, what's going on right now is Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney Plus or Disney, right? Because of the streaming dropping on the same time as the box office. And essentially what's going on, for those that don't know, is her contract essentially pays her based off of the box office sales, not the streaming. And so she's arguing that it took away like over $50 million from what she would have gotten had it all been in box office. And Disney Plus made a bunch off of streaming, which they're not paying her. And it's this whole giant cluster mess that's going on. It's kind of both ways. I mean, as it is honestly, this is my opinion. I think it is sneaky the way they did that to her in the contract. But I mean, the odds of what happened with the times right now with COVID and everything are pretty jacked up. So it's not just her; it's a lot of other people in film that this is happening to or happened to. But I guess it feels a little dirtier for her because she's had such a long relationship with Disney and Marvel that, yeah, this is kind of like she got unjustly played, at least in my opinion. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This is pretty wild what's going on right now. But we'll start with Chris. What do you think, dude? Did you know about this already?
I remember seeing it pop up like the first time. Like, well, I would think in the contract they would put, since COVID and everything, that they would have a clause where it includes the streaming and they get royalties and whatever from that. But apparently not. So it's kind of messed up. I know like Emma Stone as well, and I think The Rock just like released a statement about like the Jungle Cruise movie too. So
Yeah.
it's like if they get all these celebrities like popping in, and
Yeah.
Disney, it's gonna face the wrath of everybody essentially.
Yeah, you already actually said something that we're gonna bring up in a bit. As a matter of fact, yeah. We're talking about Scarlett doing this, but Emma Stone actually is the next one. She actually has already come on board. She's waiting to see how it pans out for Scarlett, and if it pans out the same, she's gonna come knocking the same door, and so is Emily.
Domino effect.
Yeah, so is Emily Blunt, supposedly. Will come right after Emma Stone. And like you're saying, Chris, I mean, we're hearing The Rock is kind of like, even though The Rock doesn't need the money, because we know The Rock is like probably like the richest paid actor right now in Hollywood. But yeah, this is a chain reaction that's going on right now. So it's really starting off with Scarlett's really the one that's coming at this first, and everyone else is gonna see how it pans for her, because if she pulls it off, wow, all hell is gonna break loose. It's gonna be like if the fence opened up and you're gonna see all these other actors and actresses bust through the door and just be like, yo, well, wait a minute, you know what I mean? She has a point there and this and that. Francisco, what do you think?
Well, I was reading up on this. I saw that since they had stated that they wanted to originally release Black Widow in May last year,
Yeah.
apparently Disney has they have already had planned since that release date to have both from the box office and in the streaming service at the same time. So I'm like, if that was already set in stone, and they knew they could get sued, I feel like they're at the point where like, oh, we got the money, screw it, you know, like we'll make more out of it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, and then she's Scarlet is suing them for that, but she would also have had to know that since the beginning as well.
Yeah, I'm actually, now that you're saying that, I'm actually curious what was the box office for the Black Widow movie. Let's see. What did it rake in? For some reason, it's not giving me. Usually, you get pretty open, broad answers on this, but.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have read somewhere, I think 80 million or something on that. But let me double check on it too.
Interesting.
But it's so weird how this is going on with Disney. Because we all thought they would get the royalties from it, but this is coming to light, and now we're like, whoa, how do we feel about this? But like I said, Disney's also at the point where they're like, oh, if you want money, we'll give you the money. It's fine.
Yeah, it says she's missing out on $50 million because of Disney Plus. That's what she's missing out on. For her, though, you know what I mean? Because it says the Black Widow movie raked in $158 million in the global box office. That doesn't mean $158 million for her. That means for, like, the company and, like, there's a lot of other things they need to pay, advertisements and production costs. But she's literally missing 50 just from streaming, which is a lot. Yeah. That's a ton. But I mean, most actresses in Hollywood don't even get near a fraction of that. You know what I mean? So I feel like most people, like there's this whole other context of this where like a lot of the like Robert Downey Jr. and Hemsworth and a lot of the people aren't even like supporting or speaking out because they're saying that they're afraid of the House of Mouse. You know what I mean? They don't want to say anything either, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they rule the world, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, they don't want to bite the hand that feeds, which is smart, because they're like, yo, we're still here. We're not trying to get into any drama. But I think the thing with Scarlet is that since they ended her and they booted her out already, like they killed her off, she's gonna go out in flames, you know what I mean? I think that's what is going on here, And everybody else is still kind of employed somewhat to some extent, but she's kind of like, well, if I'm already out the door, I'm going to take what I can, And I feel like a lot of the other actresses...
The final stands of being an actor.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like Emma Stone and Emily Blunt, and then, like, they're not tied to, like, any further films either, so they're just kind of like, let me see how this plays out, because I might want to pursue the same direction, Yeah. But anyone still involved with the Marvel film, they're going to keep their mouth zipped, Yeah, that's why you're not hearing any support from them. So this is pretty, bold on her though, going for it, because I mean, this is the most powerful entertainment entity in the world. So props to her for going for this, because I mean, ain't no one else doing it. You know what I mean? As no one else is gonna do it. So this will be interesting to see how this pans out. You know what I mean? She's either gonna win and it's going to be a big thing, or she's either going to lose and it's going to be like a downer. Just be like, okay, nobody can contest. Like if she can't contest to it, nobody's going to be able to contest to it, basically,
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah. So from this, I'm going to jump right into some really, really exciting news. And this just broke about 3 or 4 hours ago at I keep saying the Suicide Squad premiere today. Now there was rumors of this, but today we have confirmation, and we have our new Blue Beetle, XOLO Mariduena. Those of you might know him from Cobra Kai. He does a great job on Cobra Kai, by the way. But we have our Jaime Reyes, and I'm really excited about this. We're all really excited about this. Chris is a huge Blue Beetle fan as well. Francisco, we're all Blue Beetle fans. So This is exciting. I'm glad they didn't cast someone of like another ethnicity, because we don't really have any other Mexican American characters, so we really needed this one. You know what I mean? I really did not want them to butcher this, and I think Zolo's gonna do a great job. But me and Francisco were talking about this. Talk about this. I keep saying kid, but he's actually older now, right? But this guy's career is blowing up, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. Like this is only the beginning, you know, from Cobra Kai to Blue Beetle. Wow. Let's jump right in. Chris, what do you think, man? You dig this casting? Everything? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, well, as the Blue Beetle fan, I guess I brought this boy out here.
Nice.
9.8.
There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely big Blue Beetle fan. His casting, like, you know, seeing him in Cobra Kai, like, he's kind of perfect for the role. Just like reading the comics and stuff, him as Jaime, like, yeah, he could bust that out pretty quick.
Even
I'm
his
just
build,
like trying to see like who's in. Yeah, pretty much. Like I want to see his friends, like Paco and the other, like his friend that's a girl and stuff, and the aunt and all that crazy stuff that's in the comic. Like, but he's like, I want to say he's like the perfect Blue Beetle right now.
He is. Yeah, I'm really excited about that casting. It's really cool, man. I am hella digging it, man. Francisco, what about you, dude?
Oh, dude, I mean, come on. When Cobra Kai came out on YouTube that first season, so many people got on that streaming just to watch it. That's how good his performance was, dude. It was like, what, I think it's his first big performance?
Yeah.
And then season 2, everybody came back just to see what's going on, and he just, again, knocks it out of the ballpark. In season 3, he's just like he's just climbing that ladder. There's no stopping him, dude. So I could also see like a lot of the Jaime Reyes like a traits on the character that he could actually dish out in the actual movies. So he would knock it off. He's so good, dude. It was a great casting call.
Great casting. I'm liking the they're using that art where he keeps looking at the helmet. I'm digging that because I actually own the original artwork to that.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm trying to get a nice frame for it right now, but I own that piece. Luckily, I bought it a long time ago, like years ago, so I didn't have to pay too crazy for it when it came out. And I'm sure now it'd be radical. But
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna go up now for Blue Beetle.
Because that's like an iconic piece, and like I actually have the real thing, the 1 of 1. But I like Blue Beetle so much that like I can't even let it go, so it doesn't really matter, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's like mine, you know. It's like my piece and stuff. But
dude, you know, like not to change the subject too much, but it just threw me off how like I forgot that this happens, that there's always that markup for the specific hero prices.
Yeah.
And I just recently saw the new trailer for Titans where they're showing off Dick Grayson's childhood.
Oh yeah.
And Brendan Thwaites' new like Nightwing like gear, pulling it out. So I'm like, oh no, man, I need to start racking up my Nightwing stuff some more.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, you own an Infinite Crisis 5. Do you have a copy of that? The Jim Lee cover?
I think I do, but I probably want to get a slab of that for sure.
Yeah. That
put
book
it on my wall or something.
That book is about to get hard. Yeah. That book
definitely.
is right now is like the friendliest time to get it because it's about to go down, dude. It's about to go down with that book. That for those of you not aware, Infinite Crisis 5 is the Jim Lee. It's a beautiful Jim Lee cover, actually, which has never come to market. That original art has never come to market. Some say that Jim Lee is holding on to a lot of his original pieces, and he doesn't let them go. And he trickles them out like in little bits, but that piece has never come to fruition. Yeah, that's the first appearance of Blue Beetle. Now, the first appearance of Jaime Reyes is in Infinite Crisis 3. So him not as Blue Beetle is in issue 3, and his first appearance as Blue Beetle is issue 5. So just a little bit of info for anyone watching that's curious about the key issues of Blue Beetle. I'm looking here on IMDb, and it says Zolo, the actor, was born in Los Angeles, and he was born in 2001. So what does that make him? How old is he then? 2001?
Oh wow.
Trying to think, man.
Yeah.
2001. Shoot. Yeah, I'm doing my math right here. And Pat puts him in his 20s though, early 20s.
I would say he's 22. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
God, we're old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I believe you're correct. Yeah, age. Yeah, I believe you're correct. So, yeah, well, he's still really young, you know? Man, he's got a long career ahead of him, doesn't he? Holy shit.
Good career.
Man, I was trying to look at his credits here, and like he's just getting started. He was right now he's on a TV series called Cleopatra in Space. I haven't heard of that. Oh, okay, it's an animated show. Cleopatra in Space. I think it's from DreamWorks. So he's doing some voice work right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
definitely broadening his horizons.
Yeah, dipping into everything essentially.
Yeah. And then his first credit, or major credit, he was in a TV series called Major Crimes in 2013. And then he was on a show called Parenthood. So, yeah, I mean, he's just been blowing up. A new Cobra Kai season drop. Damn, that show's good though, man. I was told, yo, check out Cobra Kai, and then like I was like, all right, I'll check it out when I get time. I checked it out, dude. I found myself binging the hell out of that thing, man. I was like, ah, shit, I gotta watch them all now, you know? Yeah. But Cobra Kai was.
What's gonna happen next, man? What's gonna happen next?
Yeah. What? When is the? Let's see. When is Cobra Kai coming back? Let's look this up. Season 3, right? Is that where we're at on it? 2 seasons have passed, right?
I think
yeah,
the third
3.
one. Just they're on season 4.
Oh, season 4.
Last
okay.
year, right? Yeah, season 4's coming up.
Oh man, yeah, I really did binge all of them. Yeah, because last I saw he was knocked off of the balcony, right? And he was like paralyzed, and he was trying to recover.
Yeah, that was the end of season 2 for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
The last episode.
Season 4 release date. Yeah, I guess there's no definitive season 4 release. It just says quarter 4, 2021. Okay, so quarter 4. Wait, we're almost in quarter 4.
Yeah, we're in quarter 3 now, I think.
Yeah, end of the year. For
yeah,
sure.
so quarter 4.
Wow.
Quarter 4 means it's coming between October 2021 and December 2021. So yeah, that means we should be getting a Cobra Kai season 4 trailer anytime now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's cool was I saw like I think they were doing like a little host event where they had the actor out.
Yeah.
And they were saying how when he first started Cobra Kai, he was the only actor who didn't know or have any martial arts skills.
Oh wow.
Or anything. So he said he just came to him easily. So it's really awesome to see that he has that adaptability.
Yeah.
So I feel like with that behind his like as who he is, then he should even like wow us even more in Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Here's a cool image. This is like the most recent one of him. This is literally today. So this photo was from today of him. So it's funny, like he's growing out a little beard now, which we didn't even know, you know. He was always clean cut, but he's growing out a little beard. He's got the jacket. He's got looks like a chain. He's got like a chain on or something, a necklace. So yeah, like he's kind of got that. If you look at this image with him kind of growing his hair out, he's kind of got more of the other thing going with the original you know, Blue Beetle that we saw with the helmet off, you know. So I could see him pull off the look actually, pretty cool. So yeah,
Zolo looks like him.
Yeah, I think he can.
Cool casting, man. I'm excited for this, man. This is gonna be freaking cool, man. And great representation. I'm glad they cast this guy. I was a little worried for a bit. Sometimes they cast some wacky castings, man, and I'm like, what is the thought process here? You know what I mean? So really happy with this casting. This is gonna be great. And like I like that he's like a thinner build. He's not like all like buff and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's like perfect for Blue Beetle because Blue Beetle was always like that. He was just more of a normal person with just like the suit. You know what I mean? The scarab attaching itself to him. You know, and that was always what was so cool about it. You know, it's got like that kind of a lankier flex, and I thought that was super cool. You know, but still athletic at the
Yeah.
same time.
For sure.
No, that's actually the next part, Doug. You know, like now we're excited. Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes has been cast.
Yeah.
Now, next up, when are we gonna see that suit?
Yeah, I know that suit, right? I mean,
I hope it's good.
you know
what
what?
variation? What will they add on? Will it be a brand new thing, an homage?
Technology's so good right now that they can't F this up, though. You know what I mean? Like you said, Chris, like it better be good. Like it has to be good, right? Because it's like we're at a point now where like there's no excuses why it can't be good. You know what I mean? There's no reason why this cannot be a fantastic looking Blue Beetle costume. There's no excuses. There's absolutely zero. You know? It's all there.
Coming from a Warner Brothers too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we already got to see. We're getting to see, like I said, the Titans. They have great costumes right now. For the the Zack Snyder film.
Oh yeah.
The phenomenal job on the costumes. So they're really like hitting it good.
Yeah. No excuses, man. No excuses. This is.
Yeah, I'm just having flashbacks of Smallville when they showed up Blue Beetle, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he looked like a WWE guy, like in a cosplay and shit. Like
yeah, this dude. I'm like, okay, like it's weird, but.
You know what was decent, was surprisingly good though, is do you remember seeing that like fan film Blue Beetle thing that was on YouTube like a really long time ago? It was like a fan film, like an indie Blue Beetle fan film thing.
I think I remember it.
Someone had uploaded something and it was surprisingly good, dude. Like for considering it's not real. You know, sometimes I trip out, man. Sometimes like some fan films and seriously like cosplayers, dude. Just cosplayers. Sometimes they do like a way better job than like the real people in the industry. You're like, what the hell's going on here? Like, either you need to fire those people or you need to hire these people like at the freaking convention and shit. You know, like, because it's like absurd. Like the differences of how good your quote unquote average Joe does compared to like someone who they supposedly say they paid $2 million, $3 million to make a costume. It's like, you got to be kidding me, dude. You know, so. Yeah, some fan films are just so good sometimes, and some fan-made costumes are like incredible compared to the crap we end up seeing. You know what I mean? That the big production companies put out, and you're just like, what were they thinking? Like, who let this get through the approval system? You know? So, yeah. So no excuse on this costume, this Blue Beetle costume. So Warner Brothers, if you're listening, no excuses, DC. Like, come on. You already cast the great Blue Beetle here. Now do it some justice. Give it a badass costume. And yeah, looking forward to this. This is gonna be fun, man. Do you guys got a before we jump off from this topic into the next one? Do you guys have a favorite Blue Beetle cover or image? Period. That you could think of? There's a couple. There's a lot. There's like 3. Well, there was 2 volume runs. You know, the Cully Hamner one, and then there's the one where Tyler Kirkham really took over. Yeah, but there's so many great images, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I know there was...
I don't remember the artist, but for me, it would be one of the Rebirth #1s.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
But it wasn't the original, it was a variant, but I don't remember the artist. If I could find it.
Yeah, you find it here on the... For me, I always think too. There's this Raphael Albuquerque. He did a lot of really cool Blue Beetle art. Raphael Albuquerque is the one who did he did the first cover. He did Cad Bane for the first time, like on the Star Wars Darth Maul books, like Darth Maul #3, I believe it was.
Oh snap!
But there's a beautiful, if you like look up Blue Beetle #12, Raphael Albuquerque. I know Albuquerque's kind of tough to spell, but if you just put Raphael, even if you misspell Albuquerque, it'll still pop up. But Blue Beetle 12, shoot, I can't pop it up here on the thing, but for anyone that's watching, or you guys right now, Blue Beetle #12, there's this beautiful Blue Beetle cover where he's being abducted, and there's like cactuses behind him in the background. It's just a gorgeous cover. Like I just love how he's like, because the Scarab took him over with like that alien technology, and then he's like the quote unquote alien now, and he's being abducted, you know? So the irony in that is so funny, and like just the cactuses behind him and him in the desert night, like it's just beautiful.
New
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, because like we, all three of us grew up here in the desert, so like I just relate to that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I actually have I actually have that Blue Beetle cover too, and I want to frame that one too. But it's gorgeous. One of these days, I'll see if I could see if we frame it or something, put it at the shop or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, so people could see it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but
That'd
it's
be cool.
beautiful. Yeah, the original art's obviously it's black and white. There's no color on it, right? But it's just the inks. But that's my favorite cover. That one, and I like that Tyler Kirkham that we saw right now in the previous slide that I had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Tyler Kirkham one's cool.
Kirkham always has really good covers.
Yeah.
He has really amazing art.
And then I think that the Blue Beetle #1 that you were holding earlier, Chris, I think that's Cully Hammer, right? Is it? Does it say Cully on it?
I believe so.
I think that's
it's Cully right here on the bottom there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cully's so underrated,
like,
dude. I love Cully's art, dude. One of these days, I'd love to do some kind of an exclusive with Cully, you know? That'd be sweet. He did some of the what did he did the Signal for DC. He did a lot of Signal covers for DC and Signal art. That was also Cully Hamner. So yeah, just love that, man. That's so cool, man. I'm so excited about this, man. This is the coolest news, and it's funny because they announced it at the movie that I was looking forward to the most, which, by the way, I probably need to look into. But how crazy is that Suicide Squad's here already? Wow, that shit's about to.
Yeah.
That was fast, right? Yeah.
Dude, this year is going by fast.
Yeah.
It's already August, so
yeah.
it's crazy.
Another thing I was gonna put in today's show, but I just didn't have the time to put it in was did you guys see all those Hasbro Ghostbusters figures that they showed off? They kind of leaked out some of the things that are gonna go on. Yeah, so they have these Hasbro Ghostbuster Afterlife figures, and they show like the kids with the proton pack. So basically, the kids are the new Ghostbusters. There's 4 of them, and then
That's cool.
yeah, and then Spangler is obviously the granddaughter. Spangler, so she wears her grandfather's patch, which is badass. And then there's 3 of the figures, and you've got the 3 OGs. You know what I mean? Ernie Hudson and the Ray Stantz and the Bill Murray. Venkman. But like Venkman's got like the gray hair. You know what I mean? Like, so the figures basically confirm that all 3 of them are gonna gear up in this movie at some point in the Ghostbusters movie. So I'm excited for that. You're gonna see old man Ghostbusters, dude.
Pretty sweet.
Old man Ghostbusters. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff, man. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Suicide Squad and really excited about the casting for Blue Beetle. That's freaking awesome. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this next one now. This is gonna be the comic book pick of the week, and it's gonna be a couple of them. All right, so we got a little longer of a comic book pick of the week segment here. Because there's 3 that I'm going to highlight. There's a lot of free comic book day books dropping this year. We're going to have all of them at Metahumans Comics, by the way. This year, free comic book day is going to take place August 14th, which is a Saturday. Which, yes, that is the first time that's ever happened. This is a very... but then again, this is a weird year. So, weird year for weird times and weird... and the August 14th thing is not a Metahumans thing that we making up. This is the real day for free comic book day. That's just what they having us do. It's strange. It's free comic book day everywhere around the world. But the book you see here, I'm going to show you the 3 this sounds weird to say spec books with free comic book day, but that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, for those familiar, I mean, first appearance of Umbrella Academy was in a free comic book day book, There was another, what is it, like the first appearance of Jackpot was in a Spiderman free comic book day. Like, there's a lot of key issues from free comic book day that come out. So, a little heads up on these 3 here. Highlight these.
I never expected... Yeah, I never expected the free comic books to come out like this. Like, one day they'll be like, oh, that's actually something to spec on.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a trip, dude. But yeah, it's with the way the market is now, it's pretty wild. So we've got Star Wars: The High Republic, not to be confused with the Marvel one. This always confuses me. Never fails.
Mhm.
There are 2 Star Wars High Republic. So for anyone that's not aware, there are 2. All right, Marvel has one and IDW has one. I'm not even sure how they pulled that off, and they were okay with it. To be honest, like that would be like if you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over at DC and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at IDW. You know, it'd be like 2 different series. I'm not really sure how they you know, but they vetoed that and okayed it. So this is the IDW one. Now, there have been a lot of hot books. Some people say the IDW one is better than the Marvel one. I've heard actually. Some people prefer it of the Star Wars High Republic, but there are supposed to be some first appearances in this book. So for you Star Wars fans, if you're a Star Wars fan, this is probably the free comic book day book you want to gravitate towards, because again, there's always limited supply at the comic book stores. So if you get that chance, you get to choose your free comic book. You might not be able to get all of them. Fan, heads up, there is a Star Wars book. This is it. You're gonna want to go for that first. So if you don't get any of the other ones you really wanted to get, at least you got the one you really wanted to get. So this is the Star Wars one, and yes, there's first appearances in them. And I'd seen a little blurb about it here. Now the thing about Star Wars is, if you know Star Wars, you know that sometimes the characters' names are pretty hard to pronounce sometimes. So I wasn't sure. Even the last, what is it? High Republic issue 6, it had some more first appearances in it, right? So there's a couple first appearances. So this is definitely the one you want to swoop up if you are a Star Wars fan. And really cool colors on this one, actually. They've been going with a lot of these pastels. They look great. Another one. Oh, Francisco and I went over this the other day. This is Marvel. Okay, so Marvel has 2 books. All right, so heads up for those that aren't aware. Marvel has 2 books for free comic book day. There's a Spider-Man one that has Venom on it, which has it's a badass cover actually. But the sleeper is this one. There's an Avengers one. I know everyone's probably gonna gravitate for the Spider-Man Venom one, but this Avengers one has a first appearance of the oh snap, what was it, Francisco?
The Atlantean Avengers.
Atlantean Avengers. All right. Yes, the Atlantean Avengers. So it's like alternate versions of the Avengers, and they look really cool actually. It's like different versions of. Let me see. I pop it up. Francisco, if you remember what it is, go ahead and kind of like you want to describe them. You know what I mean?
They look like super like futuristic cybernetic soldiers. Like they look pretty badass, man.
Yeah, Atlantean Avengers. I wonder if anyone has. You know what? It doesn't look like anyone has actually posted this yet. So you guys are probably hearing this first from us, honestly, because the book's not out yet. But Atlantean Avengers. All right, heads up for those that don't know. For those that aren't aware, the books we actually have them already. We're just not allowed to release them till that day. So if you see other people who are releasing them, they're not supposed to be. Yeah, they can actually get in trouble for that. So we have them for the day of. Yeah.
You want a sneak peek?
Yeah, you got a sneak peek?
I'm going to sneak peek right here.
All right, sneak peek, because Francisco has access to it here. There you go. There you go, man. Atlantean.
Like that Steve Rogers one right over there.
Yep. So Atlantean.
That's all you're getting.
Atlantean Avengers.
You want to look at the rest? Free comic book day.
Yeah, free comic book day. Scoop it up. Scoop it up. So, yeah, that's like I said, a lot of people are probably gonna go for the Spider-Man Venom one because Venom's on it and the cover's really cool actually. But this one is the one with the first appearance in it. So if you want the spec book, go for this one. If you're just a fan of Spidey, even though it's not a key, you probably do want to go for the Spidey because it's Spider-Man, it's probably gonna go pretty quick. You know what I mean? But if you want the spec book, this Avengers one is the one with the actual first appearance in it. And then the other big book, which is probably the biggest book, but it's weird to say that because someone who doesn't know comics a lot will skip over this one. Does that make sense? You know? The average person who goes in for free comic book day who's not an avid comic book person probably doesn't know what Something is Killing the Children is. You know what I mean? But, you know, for those of you that do know comics and that Enter the House of Slaughter is going to be the hotter, like, you know, deep inside book for the comic collector. And this one's probably going to have the higher value on the spec market because we actually kind of have not too much information of what's going to happen here. But the fact that this looks like the issue #1, you know, and this is the free comic book day, and you get that male character on there, and it's supposed to be something like backtracking of what I've been told. They're trying to build this universe of something is killing the children. And so the first appearances and, you know, the branch off from the other characters, including this male character who's actually featured, I think Jenny Frizen did a cover with his face on it, right, recently. There's yeah, so Enter the House of Slaughter is going to be a big book. Let me see if I can find if they've updated anything. Enter the House of Slaughter. So Something is Killing the Children, for those who don't know, is that book's popping right now. Supposedly Netflix picked it up. And when that shit drops, you know, that's going to be psycho. Sorry, so this says... okay, so first off, James Tynion's the writer. James Tynion is like the... Man, I mean, he's the hottest writer in comics right now. Let's just put it that way. James Tynion, everything he touches is gold right now. He's on Batman. Something is Killing the Children. Department of Truth. What is that? Nice House on the Lake, right?
Oh yeah, they're all just like
just freaking
good.
Hit after hit after hit. Anything he touches is gold right now. Basically, he's introducing the new characters here. It says Erica is not the only member of the House of Slaughter. With nearly 500,000 copies sold, Something is Killing the Children. This has become a true comic phenomenon. In this free comic book day, you are invited to enter the House of Slaughter if you dare. So, yeah, this is an extension. Don't be surprised if this pops off bigger than you think for a free comic book day. Yeah, this is going to be a rough one to get. This book actually is the one that we're still waiting on our copies. We have not gotten them in yet. I don't know what's going on, but I did pay for them, so we're supposed to get them. So I don't know where it's at, but it should be on the way this week. But a lot of the other ones, we got them already. But then again, this was also the cover that they hadn't shown you, and now they're showing it to you. So maybe they were late in the printing press or something. But ones, if you want to know, there's about 10 gold standard free comic book day books. There's a lot of other ones. There's another really cool one that I don't have here on the list. For those of you that are fans of manga, it's the Demon Slayer, right, Francisco? There's a Demon Slayer one with the preview in it from Viz Media. And then there is a really cool Assassin's Creed one that has like manga style paper. I was actually really surprised with it. That one's really cool. It's a Assassin's Creed one, and a couple other titles there too. So, yeah, that's just those are some of the releases that are dropping. But yeah, before we wrap up here, I mean, I'd like to go over some just some memories of like since we're talking about, you know, sometimes for some kids, free comic book day could be their first comic book ever. You know what I mean? And I've never really touched on this, but I'd love to hear before we round out here, starting with Chris and then Francisco. I've never even asked you this either, Francisco, but starting with Chris, what is your first comic book, Chris? Where did you start out? Like, where give us the whole, if you got a story behind it, I'd love to hear it. And people joining would love to hear it. That'd be great to hear. I'd love to hear those introduction stories and what really got you into it, and what was the first comic first, because some people, it's something random sometimes, you know?
Well, for me, I remember when I was a kid, there used to be a newsstand, you know, they sell books. So it was on Main Street here in El Centro. I know it's like an adult store now, but it was in that spot. But I remember they had just comics on a rack, you know, spinning around. I remember there was a Martian Manhunter. It was one specifically for kids. That's what I remember. And then,
it was for kids?
Yeah, it was one of their, DC had a kid line, and it was like Martian Manhunter.
Nice.
It was a weird looking cover. And I just remember grabbing it, like he looked cool, so I'm like, I'll grab that. But I remember also there was another comic shop back in the day on Main Street, and it was like Night Thrasher #1 with the foil cover, and he's like running at you.
Oh yeah, the red. Yeah, that one's.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that one I was like, oh, he looks sick, so just picked that one up. Like back in the day, I wasn't really into comics like I am kind of now. Like after high school, that's when I really dug into like characters and things like that. But like those two, I remember those like popped in my head. Like, yeah, those are like the first ones I remember reading or just like having because they look cool.
Nice. What about you, Francisco?
That's pretty awesome. Well, for me, I've always been a big Batman fan growing up, but my first comics that I actually got to read was Nightwing 112.
Nice.
And I think it was Captain America 42. I don't remember at the time, but they belonged to my uncle. And he would take care of me sometimes when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
Well, basically babysit me. And he just gave me his comics to read. And that's when I just got hooked because I was like, oh, because I would watch a Batman the Animated Series, so I liked Nightwing from there. And then when I found out he had his own comic and my uncle was the one that introduced it to me, I was like, oh, this is so rad. I got to keep going with this. And just became a big thing, a big Nightwing fan.
And so with that, in that introduction to, actually, there's another tale. I know, Chris, you mentioned that yours was like a Martian Manhunter, but kind of aimed towards like kids, right? Or youth, right?
Yeah, it was like DC Adventures or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So
cool.
On yours, Francisco, was yours straight up like PG-13? You know what I mean? Like a Nightwing issue?
Oh, it's been a while. I haven't really reread this next 6 series, but it wasn't too PG-13. It was like straight out what DC Comics, the core of DC Comics is. So
yeah, the
noir and the dark, but the cheery of Dick Grayson too. So
nice. My first one was Spectacular Spider-Man number 155. I still remember that. What's interesting about that one was it was on a washer dryer in my grandmother's garage, and to this day I still don't know who the heck's comic book that was. But I remember grabbing it and being like, whoa, what is this? And I said, what is this? Because I didn't even know who Spider-Man was. That's how early, how early on that was. And I just remember, I want to say it was like I want to say it's my grandmother. She was like, you can have it. Like, I didn't even like ask whose it was or whatever. So it obviously was somebody else's in my family's or whatnot. But it was on a washer dryer. They said I could have it. I was like, all right, I got my first comic book. You know what I mean? And it's this cover. If you look it up, it's Spectacular Spider-Man 155, and it's Tombstone just beating the crap out of Spider-Man while he's chained up in a jail. And you just see all the
crazy,
all the prison people behind him. And so Tombstone's just racking him. So like Spider-Man off the bat in the cover is not heroic at all. So I'm looking at it like, who is, it says Spectacular Spider-Man, but I'm assuming Spider-Man's the one that's chained up, and he's just getting the crap beat out of him. You know what I mean? And in a lot of these early issues, I remember when I would read them.
That hook.
Yeah, Black Cat was actually like very present in them, and she was like, you know how she's like an anti-hero? She was like doing good things in those issues. So Black Cat was actually probably one of the first heroes I was introduced to, even though people associate her more as a villain sometimes. So my early introduction was like Black Cat, Spider-Man, Tombstone was the first villain I ever saw. So yeah, that's kind of my introduction, which was really, really crazy. It's really like boom, like really, it definitely was not like a rated G comic either. And I don't think my grandmother even bothered to look inside of it because it was a lot more adult type stuff in there, But I was just hooked just because like the art and the story and everything. Like I need to go back and read it now as an adult because I know I'll understand it. But when I was younger, I was just enthralled with the images, Yeah. But that, and then I used to get my comic books at this is random, but I used to get them two places. One, there was a random. I know this sounds weird, but there was a house in Calexico, like a house. And you'd walk up the, what? I want to say it's where that one coffee place is now in Calexico near the border. I think that used to be the comic book store back in the day. Someone lived there, and their living room was a comic book store. I know this sounds weird, but back in the day in Calexico, it was someone's like they had like racks and stuff, and I remember got a comic book there, and so I remember getting like 2 there at a certain point, and then the other time I got some comics was at Kmart. Kmart used to sell comics, and so I used to get comics at Kmart because I remember my brother and my mom would only get one thing, right? And so the comics at the time were like 75 cents, you know what I mean? Something like that. That's what the price they were. I'm old, so yeah, but like I remember my brother would get like the candy all the time, and then I would get the comic all the time. And so he would eat his candy, and then his candy would be gone. And I'd be like, well, I don't want that. I want the comic, because like I can read the comic, and then guess what? I still got the comic tomorrow, and I still got the comic next week, and I still got the comic a month from now. So like I got to like accumulate stacks that way, you know. So I always chose the comic book, you know, and I freaking loved that, dude. So, yeah, that's where I used to get them. And what trips me out is I didn't think about this, but technically the Kmart comics, since those are technically not a comic book store, those were newsstands, which is interesting, you know? Yeah. So, because they're at Kmart, a lot of times you'd see them. If you didn't get them right when they put them out, you know, kids would just scroll through them, and sometimes they were already a little bit handled. You know what I mean? Yeah, which is what makes newsstands so valuable. You know what I mean? You think about it. Like, if they put them on a rack at 7-Eleven, could you imagine that? Like, the Cheeto fingers that went on it, or the spinner things, or you really got to get that sucker right when they put it up. You want it in good shape, you know. But as young kids, we all just enjoyed them. You know what I mean? All 3 of us, yeah. I don't think any of us were already thinking about collecting like that. We were just enjoying comics for what they were, you know. Yeah.
That was the fun part about when we were younger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, free comic book days coming up. So everyone, heads up on that. August 14th. I know we're 2 weeks early, but I'm giving you a heads up right now, because that's one of the things we do on this show is we try to give you an early bird. It's kind of pointless for me to tell you what comic book pick of the week is when it's out that week, because then you try to go back to your store, and if it's gone, well, then you're already screwed. So like I avoid that. I just give you like advanced stuff, so that you have that opportunity. So here's 2 weeks in advance here, giving you a heads up.
And just to clear with our viewers, we'll be open on that Saturday, right?
Yes. So we're usually open Tuesdays and Thursdays. That Saturday we will. Yes. So we'll have free comic book day like every other store in the United States. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So kids 12 and under, 1 free comic. No purchase necessary. 13 and over. 1 free comic book with any purchase. You can literally buy anything. You can get like a candy or something in the store, or something for $1, or a sticker for 50 cents, and you'll get a comic. So just buy anything, and you get to pick any comic you want while supplies last. And to all of our Metahumans auction people, you know who you are. Chris, you're one of them.
Yep, one of them.
Yeah, you guys actually will get. We'll announce it on Metahumans Mondays, but you guys actually don't just get one. You guys can actually, if you guys just buy anything, you can literally take one of every cover if you want. You know what I mean? So, and to you guys and our regulars, we're really thankful for you guys. So, if you're a regular at Metahumans, you know who you are. You're not limited to one. If you support, you can literally take all 10, you know what I mean? One of each and stack up. Go for it. The reason we limit it one on the other is because sometimes you get people who are not necessarily, we want them to get comics on free comic book day, but we also don't want them, like a random person to come in and just hog all of them, and then a true regular that deserves it can't get it. You know what I mean? So that's the reason we're doing it that way, because you'd be surprised, like in the past, other free comic book days that I've done, there have been random people that like I've never seen in the store once, not even once in my life, and they'll come in and they'll just start grabbing stacks, you know, of like this, like the same thing, and it's like, yo, you can't do that, you know what I mean? Like the people that actually I want to obtain copies of these, I want to give it to them. Like, they're not gonna be able to get one because, you know, you who Joe Schmo or whatever, I don't know who you are. You're coming in, you're just scalping them or just taking all of them because they're quote unquote free when they're really not. We for those that don't know, we actually have to pay for all the comic books. They're not free. You know what I mean? Realistically, so plus shipping and everything. You know what I mean? But it's a cool thing we do every year. You know, so we want to give them to you. So if you just go and support and you're one of our regulars, or you're with the auctions with us, or you come to our store, you know, you're guaranteed one of every copy as long as they're there, right? Because some of them are going to go faster than others, you know. But want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get a cool variety of free comic book day books, and you get to an eclectic mix. And then one of the things we'll also have that we have a lot of nonstop Spider-Man ones, right, Francisco? Those ones, if anything, we can.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can definitely cater to a lot of the newer people coming in. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But thank you everyone for joining on in. Chris, thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. There's no one could have thought of to have on here to announce to get the Blue Beetle stuff. We're all excited for it. It's gonna be a
thank you.
fun time. And Rafael Perez, hey, thanks for joining us in the chat. He says he remembers the store in Calexico I'm talking about. Awesome, dude. So I'm not crazy. I went into some house over there, random. Yeah. That was short-lived. Actually, I think I got another Spider-Man. I got a lot of Spider-Man comics, man, when I was younger. So pretty big on Scarlet Spider and Spider-Man. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Chris. Chris, you want to plug your channel, dude? I actually checked out one of your guys' videos. It was cool, man. Like, Munchy Gang, best pizza in the valley. That was a cool video, man.
Yeah.
That shit made me hungry, bro. I watched that. I was like, good Lord, I need to eat some pizza now. Yeah, dude. You want to plug that in?
This is really fun, man.
You guys can check us out on YouTube. It's just Google Munchy Gang. I think we have like a yellow logo. Like Ruben said, we did a video of the best pizza in the Imperial Valley. We all filmed that in one day, so I had a bunch of pizza today. I felt pretty full, but it was a fun time.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
But yeah, we also have an Instagram. It's at Munchy_gang. We just post like random videos of what we're doing. I think the next video was coming out soon, and I think we did Antojitos, the Mexican restaurant.
Nice.
It was really good.
Nice.
So yeah, look out for that. But yeah, just subscribe. It would help us a lot.
Yeah, you guys, you should keep that going. Like best this in the valley, and you know what I mean? Like kind of like best what do they call it? Roadside attractions. You guys should do all that stuff too. You know what I mean? Like just start getting into all those little cut corners. You know, that's fun, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're throwing ideas and stuff. We want to keep it obviously with food. So it's like the best pizza was obvious when we have the best donuts one up there too. But we're
the donut one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one's fun to film too. But yeah, we're just looking up for ideas. So obviously, if you do have ideas, just message it on the Instagram or just comment on one of the videos, and we'll look at it and take it in consideration.
Yeah, awesome. I feel like there almost needs to be a best pizza part 2, and like. You guys did the local spots. Maybe like start hitting some of the well, because most people can relate. But if you do like the chains, that could be its own category in itself, huh? Like the chains.
Most definitely. Yeah. We hit up Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza.
Yeah.
We probably want to hit up those and like which one's the best one for that. But we'll see what's gonna.
That's
be
fun,
in the future,
man.
for sure.
That's fun. Yeah, I know for sure. After I saw that, bro, I was hungry. I was like, yo, I had to get some pizza, man. Like
sure.
And then I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, so me and pizza, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then
for sure.
Francisco, where can you find you at, dude?
You can find me at the.boyblunder on Instagram.
Awesome, dude. And to everyone watching, thank you for joining in. You can find me at Ruben Ojeda. But most importantly, you can find us at Metahumans Comics. On Sundays, we got our auctions on Instagram, Metahumans Comics. Hey, we're announcing it. Actually, we said a little bit on our live auction, but Whatnot app for those of you that have Whatnot, we're doing our first Metahumans auction on Wednesday. We got Whatnot Wednesdays. We're going to be doing them starting at 8 p.m. This will be our first one. Join us there. We're going to see how it goes. We got approved for them, so I think Wednesdays is going to become a thing. So we're going to have this little... it's funny. We've kind of got a schedule built now, right? We got Metahumans Mondays. The shop's open Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to have Whatnot Wednesdays. Thursday, shop's open. You know what I mean? We got the whole pattern going. It's like bunk, 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 you know? So we got a theme going here. But yeah, join us. Check it out. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to have on there. A lot of stuff that we're starting off at 99 cents. So we have a lot of 99-cent auctions on things that are worth way more than 99 cents. So, so I'm not expecting to have a freaking giant crowd there because we're newbies on Whatnot. So for those of you that want to join in, this would be a great way to score some good deals before the traffic picks up on there. But yeah, want to just say